And our next show and teller is a rock star, a singer, a songwriter. Just released a single, World Upside Down, a collaboration with reggae legend Junior Reid. We've got GRW in the house.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for being here at Queen Ave Collective Show and Tell. I'm very excited about this item that you've brought. I'm very excited to learn more about it, learn more about you. You've also got a new LP coming up called Marijuana Murder Ballads.
That's right. Actually just recorded a track for it in Queen Ave last week.
Love that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've met Susan yet, but Susan is probably the hardest working person here at Show and Tell.
Okay.
You know, we here at Show and Tell, we're all about giving these items that have been in our lives the respect that they deserve, the credit that they're due. And Susan helps us do that. So Susan has been working hard, making sure your item looks as sexy as it can. Can we kick it over to Susan? Ooh.
Whoa.
Look at that. Do you ever think your item could look? Tell us, what do we got here?
This is a cat skull. I don't know what kind of cat it is. It's a large predator, some kind of large jungle cat, and it's been adorned by thousands of beads using wax by the Huichol Indians of southern Mexico. And you can see right there on the side, that's actually a peyote button.
What? Where's the peyote button?
Okay, so see that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 lines there on the side?
Yeah.
That represents a peyote button.
Okay.
Yeah, which is it's psychedelic.
I mean, I've only heard.
Yeah, well, I've never done that either, but, you know, I've heard about it. I've read Hunter S. Thompson books, so.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so, I mean, wow. So it's beautiful. So tell me, how did you, when did you get this item? Where did you get it? I mean, is this one of those things you're on a Carnival cruise, you get off and
well, I didn't get on a Carnival cruise, but my wife and Lisa and I lived in Northern California up in the Redwoods for over a decade. We were doing interesting things up there and meet all kinds of crazy people up there. And one of them was this guy Chip. And Chip was a crazy old, I guess he's kind of like a psychedelic shaman, but he was just he was more like a old prospector. You know what I mean? And Chip was he was what they call in the business of cannabis growing his size queen. Now, what that means is that he would grow giant marijuana plants, like roughly 25 feet tall, that they were so large that you had to build scaffolding around them in order to
like the Rockefeller Christmas tree.
Right, he would take a bunch of bamboo and there were literally levels, you know,
Yeah.
and so you just climb these scaffolding and so you could, you know, play with your plant all day long, I guess. But anyway, so he was a crazy dude. He had an ultralight airplane. And I remember it was yellow, and he would fly all over Mendocino County in this little, basically made out of paper mache with like a motor on it. And he would fly over our property and he would waggle his wings and say hello to us and stuff. And so, but he had an interesting life. He's actually no longer with us. He passed away a few years back, but what he would do was he would grow his marijuana during the year, and then he would travel to Alaska and collect wolf skulls. Then he would travel down to Mexico, and he would have these Huichol Indians that lived down in like Cancun area, and they would adorn these wolf skulls with all these thousands of beads.
Where was he getting these wolf skulls? Do we know?
From somebody up in Alaska.
That just, I mean,
you know, but there's a lot of wolf. Actually, I actually was born in Alaska.
It's like where Simba went.
Well,
when they said we don't go over there.
You know, actually, oddly enough, I was born in Alaska, and when I was a little kid, I was actually bitten by a wolf, and so that was a little frightening. But
where?
Fairbanks, Alaska.
Okay, yeah.
Out in the woods. But anyway, Chip was just a crazy dude.
So Chip's taking wolf skulls.
Yeah, from Alaska.
From Alaska down to Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these psychedelic Indians would make these fabulous objects. And we have a few of them. And I don't know what kind of cat that is, but He gave that to us.
He just so how did you? So you met him out in California.
Yeah.
And how did you meet him? And what prompted him to give you this item?
He was just a close friend, and I guess I would have to say he was a fellow traveler in the realms of the mind expansion.
Okay, I got it.
For want of a better term, Yeah. And so, and so my wife and I actually, we got married in 2007, and it was this fabulous party that occurred on a lake in Mendocino County at our friend's house, and out in the middle of nowhere. And
wow, whoa, is that? Look at this! Look at these images popping up.
Right, so that's my wife and I just after we did the deed.
Yeah.
There I am.
Look at those stormtroopers.
Yeah, I'm walking. I'm walking towards the marriage, being guided by some stormtroopers.
Yes.
We had all kinds of stuff at this way. I mean, it was a 3-day party.
Yeah.
There were also a lot of pirates, and a lot of psychedelics.
Yeah.
So the thing about that was that Chip was he provided LSD.
Okay.
So he dosed me on my wedding. And
were you dosed? Can we put up the stormtrooper picture? Were you dosed?
No.
When you're being
I don't know what I was on,
escorted by. Were you dosed when you were being escorted?
It's probably just tequila at that point.
What did your wife's family think of the stormtroopers? I'm sure your family was like, "No, we get it."
It was more my mom and my dad were there, and they love Star Wars.
Cool.
Why not?
I'm all about it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was just one of many things that I'm dressed up as a mariachi.
You're like, that wasn't the weirdest thing about the wedding.
It's an odd conglomeration of a lot of many different genres.
What else did you have there?
There was a lot of pirates. I remember at one point I was naked and swimming across the pond, and I could see in the distance this boat, and on the boat were all these pirates, and they're like, arr, 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 doing their piratey stuff, and so I said, I'm going to go join those guys, So there's a lot of stuff going on. And the party lasted for 3 days, and the problem was...
I'm having a hard time knowing if that was actually happening, though.
No, well, I think it did. And the thing about it was that Chip, he, I knew I was going to be taking LSD and stuff, and everybody was doing it, but he hit me with an extra dose, kind of grabbed my hand.
Yeah.
And he, at some point in the dark, and he drops another bit of LSD on my right there in the crux of my thumb and forefinger, and I couldn't go to sleep for like 36 hours, and every time I tried to close my eyes and go to sleep, I kept seeing Chip's face laughing at me. So I don't know if it was all great.
Do we have a picture of Chip?
No, we don't. I can describe him. He looks a lot like people that I've always known in my life, gray beard and stuff. And, we did some adventures
Looking
together.
like Rick Rubin out here a little bit.
A little bit like Rick Rubin, little glasses, stuff. He was a nice man.
And so he gave that to you at your wedding or before? Or
no, he did not. No, that was at a different time. But he gave us several of those, and got more of them. Yeah, but I just wanted to tie him in and give him a little shout out for this cool object.
Well, that's amazing. So where do you keep this in your house?
Well, my house is we live out in Fairview, Tennessee, which is about 25 minutes from here, and we live in a very, very old log cabin, which was built in 1797. So the first part of it, the front part of it is, and then as you go back, it gets newer, like 1898, and then finally the 60s. But the whole house is filled with objet d'art like this.
Yeah. Wow.
So that would be on a little 1830s little console or something with like a bunch of stuffed animals and stuff, things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So where can people find you? What you got? Anything coming up? You got some music coming up?
Right now I just got back from Jamaica, where I've been working on music and promoting music with my friend Junior Reed, who is a legendary reggae artist. And we have a new single called World Upside Down, which is really cool. It's partially recorded here in Nashville, partially in Jamaica. And it's, there's a video for it, which is just came out. It's on my YouTube page, GRW Music YouTube. Go check it out. It's really, really cool.
Check it out. Well, GRW, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
That was great. Take care of that item.
I shall. You
Chip
can't leave it out in the sun or it'll all just melt.
Yeah. And thank you, Chip. Thank you, Chip.
Thank you, Chip, wherever you are.
Thank you, Chip, wherever you are. Guys, we'll be right back.
Thank you.